Yes, and good evening, and welcome back to the Celtic Unrestricted View. And it's a happy new year to everybody. Happy new year, everyone. I hope you're all well, everybody that's tuning in. For my sins, I've got I need to deal with Paddy McCourt and Sean Maloney back on me again. So, come to you first, Paddy. You're looking well, a wee bit more fresher than normal, mate. I take it you get some new moisturiser there for your Christmas, mate.
Aye, beard moisturiser, so I'm feeling fresh, feeling because I'm worth it. Aye, happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, you guys. And aye, happy day. So hope you are both well, and hope everybody watching's well.
I'm well, and to yourself, wee Maloney. I see you've nicked somebody else's hoodie again, me man. You're doing well with these hoodies.
And I get new Matt Freeze for my Christmas, by that's what I shaved with.
You ought to start using it then.
Yeah. It's one of the, well, I say Matt Freeze, the big ones in it, and I need to just do what I can do with them. So, no, happy New Year, everybody who's watching and listening. Again, thanks for the support last year, and hopefully that continues. And yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Hail, and JP, fantastic 2 results to come back onto. After a wee break, mate. So I think, cut a long story and get onto the short stuff, mate. Let's fire away because I think we've got plenty to go, mate. And I have you guys and hail.
Yeah, just as the banner says there, Celtic cause utter meltdown, Alan. There's meltdown in Glasgow as we speak, mate. And there's been VAR audio pleaded for. Funny how they plead for VAR when it suits them, but they don't plead for VAR for other decisions that are given for them. Obviously, we'll come to that in a wee second. There's a couple of people joining us tonight. And James says, evening, guys. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to yourself. Matt McDonald, Happy New Year. And we've got Johnny Boy, 67. Graham, Happy New Year. Francis Lester also, Happy New Year. Alan, it's absolutely bliss. Just sitting back and enjoying the meltdowns, mate.
Aye, these kind of decisions, they swing and roundabouts. We've all been in that position as well. Felt hard done by at times, so it is. It feels like you're happy when you're on the right side of it. So it's one to kind of just sit back, relax, and take it all in with the slightest wee smile on your face. That'll kind of brighten up your whole day.
That's it, definitely. Ryan, it's been totally bliss, mate. Just, I think we spoke at line phone here in terms of the football, and we were talking about, we were looking for maximum points in terms of the 4 results. And what I will say to you, mate, is I've always said it on here, the cream always rises, mate. And they've went out and showed the true mark of champions that they are, mate, and they've went out and got to 4 victories.
Aye, 100%. I think there's just about every game's a clean sheet as well, in the bargain of that as well. So, so that's one thing we had to try and get was clean sheets, and we did say it was paramount to get 12 points. That's what's happened. Scored a few good goals as well. You've won the derby game again, and again, people can say about the want, mate, about VAR or about this, about that. Celtic were a better team, and I'll give us a bit of credit as well, just about everything we says on the pod the day before, the night before, just about happened. We said the Rangers came to try and play against us, where we go and break them down, and we did. They tried to come out and play against us, didn't happen. We were actually a bit more physical, we were a bit more nastier. It's probably the first in a long time I've seen us. We had a bit of dig about us, we were physical, we didn't let them bully us. We stopped the fullbacks getting up and down most of the game. So I wouldn't say it was a total obliteration, but it was a domination in most of the game, mate. They had parts of the game, mate, but overall, in terms of the four games, mate, you can't really argue with the team. Maybe 1 or 2 parts of maybe players should be doing better, or maybe parts of our game should be doing better. But as a collective, as a whole, mate, the manager and the squad, considering they've been having a wee bit of kind of dip off as most of the fans, let's be fair. What's happening with the transfer one day? Are we going to pick it up? But what's going to happen? And they've not told us to shut up, but they've kind of went, listen, just let us deal with it. We've got the 4 results. and we move on to the new year in January with -8, as John says there. I know the games in hand, but I'd rather have the -8 sitting there than having 2 games in hand. I'd rather have the points on board. They're there, they're done, and then you can move on to obviously Bucky, the Scottish. Again, don't want to be disrespectful, but you would like to think that'd be a game to get you back in, and obviously hopefully win the game, and then you can move on to the league again and just kind of push on, mate. Add some quality signings, and then just have it on.
Yeah, obviously dissecting some of that, Alan. It's good to see the comments of -8 and stuff, because it's, you know, we're telling people to wrap up well and make sure they're all wrapped up when they go outside. I think you look at the Glasgow derby. I think me and Alice just ran the show. Like, they had a couple of moments here and there, but it was more momentarily. Whereas we dictated the tempo, as Ryan says, you know, they weren't allowed to bully us. The fact it was McGregor that was being aggressive and getting in Cantwell's face, and Cantwell was greeting for his mammy during part of it. Yeah, and like I says, mate, and then obviously big Dessers. He was doing a good impression of somebody who's got. I don't know what he was. I still think he was. No, see when you go ice skating and you do that thing where you flick your boots to the side and you just stop dead. That's what he reminded me when he was running through and goal. I was kind of wondering what he was doing and as to why he just stopped dead. But no, mate, it was funny for us, but it's caused an absolute meltdown elsewhere.
No, what it reminded me, see the film Space Jam, when they all get their powers took off them, the guys don't know what they're doing, so they're stalling there, like...
Yeah.
That's what it was like. He's like, do I play football? What is it I do here? So, aye, but we can all have a laugh now, but aye, it was an imperative victory, a good victory. We scored, the timing of the second goal was, I think that was massive. That's kind of killed off the game. I think us coming out the second half, and as I says to you guys, like, the first 20 minutes of the second half, we played probably the best part. That was the best part of our game, I think. I think we really took it to them and kind of stamped our authority upon the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So that there is parts of the game that you can take away, like maybe the last 10-15 minutes of the game were the best to watch. Considering we were playing against 10 men, I thought it would have been slightly more comfortable, but at the end of the day, it was a good win. It was 3 points on the board that were absolutely necessary with how much we dropped recently, and it gives us kind of that comfortable lead in the league table again, which can only bode well going forward, especially we're looking to improve the squad within the January transfer window. So it was a massive win, and brilliant to get the 3 points and a relatively comprehensive victory.
Yeah, it was, and a well-deserved victory as well. Ryan, I think we'll obviously come to the goals. Kevin, that's good to hear. I know one of the last times you were on, mate, you weren't feeling well, so I hope all's well now, mate, and you're fighting fit and good to go. It's good to hear, buddy. Yeah, I think that, you know, there's been several comments. I'm just going to be dead honest. Like I've told you guys before, to me, Clement's the spitting image of Voldemort for Harry Potter. And he waves his horns like him and all when he's doing, like, you know, just that to me, that's the way he looks. And I just think he's obviously been in Pedro Caixinha's drawer. With that glue pot that was lying there. That they all seem to get a wee. And then you see a photo of him drinking out of one of the cups. Now, there's got to be something in that. You know, there's got to be something in that cup, because it's impossible, Ryan, for all the different type of managers to come out with all the same nonsense. And it's the same, you know, he's Pedro Caixinha with a Belgian accent, in my opinion. And it's the same, you know, they lauded this guy as a messiah. And then obviously he's found his first defeat against us. And there's got to be massive doubts. But what we've spoke about on here at length, Ryan, I think it's no the managers, mate, that are coming in. It's the players. It's the same failures that keep going through the process. No turning up, no being strong mentally, no dealing with hurdles that come up in front of them, and basically no having the character to carry that can, mate. And as long as you've got guys like, and I don't like downing professional footballers, right? But this is just my honest opinion, right? As long as you have got guys like James Tavernier, Connor Goldson, John Lundstrom, Ryan Jack, you're always going to set yourself up for a big fall, mate.
Aye, well, I said to you the other day in the phone, I've spoke about it as well, and I've spoken about it on social media. Guys, my group chats and stuff as well. It doesn't matter if you get Mourinho, doesn't matter if you've got Ancelotti, Rodgers, whoever it is as your manager. If you've got the same players that keep losing titles and keep making the same mistakes season out, season in, you're not going to win trophies. It's as simple as that. You need to change the mentality. Mm-hmm. You've got to look at us, right? We lost at 10, right? A lot of that team left. Your big hitters, they all left. We changed the mentality. We changed the team. People might give the board a bit of jip, right? We've all done it, right? We all have. One reason why I'll give the board credit on this, obviously no losing the 10, but the way we bounce back, we get a good manager in, we're a top manager, we get good players in, and then we bounce back. Mentality, we get a manager with a winning mentality, we get players with winning mentalities to come in and help you, and they push the guys who we're already here, and we push on. They're talking about Lundstrom, that's a new deal. I put it today in one of my group chats, get him signed up, because you'll keep losing titles. You've got the same midfield that's losing the last 3 and 4 titles. I know we'll take away the 10, but even before that, the guys have been there for years and they're losing titles. They've won a League Cup, a Scottish Cup, and a league. In how many years? It's bonkers. Before that game, it was we're going to do this. You get 15 or 14 games in a row, and you beat Betis and you tapped your Europe. Fair play. That's brilliant. But you've not played Celtic yet. You've not played your rivals yet. Us first before you start saying how good this manager is. Get to Celtic Park. They try to come and play at your horns. They try to take his own, which is crazy. And after the game, he's broken. He's normally calm. He's measured to the media. He doesn't really give them much. Oh, but we had the most shots on target, and we had this. You lost the game. What's the matter? I could have all sorts of DMs to Katy Perry, but she's not going to talk to me, is she? It's the same thing. It's lunatic, man.
She kissed a girl and liked it, apparently, so she's...
Oh, well, that's why she's no my half-10 show then, so I'm good.
They'll chance with Fred Perry.
But no, listen, going to party, Francis, there was 2 mistakes, and it put him through and goal. I think the one for McCausland was good work for him, and the one for Campbell was good work for him. Apart from the 2 chances, it was all through your mistakes. I think Scales done one, and I think it was somebody else. I can't remember what else it was. Apart from that was hit. And to be fair, the one with Dessers, if you get a faster striker, he's probably going to score, right? I'm telling you again, I do not down professional IP, but that guy's won a competition with him. I'm telling you. I'm sitting watching him thinking, I've not played football in 7 years, and I'm quicker than you. Like, it's generally, for Rangers fan, you must be like that. How can you sign him?
$4 million.
That guy's worth a lot of money. He's probably getting about £20,000 a week, and he can't turn up against St Mirren, in my mind. Us. But it's all about what we do. I said it at the start of the season, JP. It doesn't matter. Even when we lost 2 games, I still said we've still got the manager. We've still got the financial power. We've still got these players here. They will turn up eventually. They will come good. We've still got every mantra, every capabilities and we should be blowing Scottish football in the water. And hopefully into January this will happen, because the performance against St Mirren as well, mate, that's one of the best we've had in a long time. It was quick, it was slick, it was aggressive for the start, and I think maybe I'm not going to say we owe the team an apology just yet because of some of the jip we've gave them, but they've took it on board. I think maybe that can't happen again, and they've got to kind of power on. And but aye, mate, listen, they're broken. They're absolutely meltdown. They're sick. They're sick. I think was it since Jeddah they've no beat us, and even then it was one of them was during the 1 or 2 or 3 even. Sorry. Was during the 10th season. So, but I've said for so long, mate. That's to me now. That's glorified friendlies, mate. The way that turned out was just an absolute disgrace. When the pressure's on, they can't do it. Golson, I've lost the hunger. Tavernier, I can't play in front of fans under pressure. That's the same guys that are playing week in, week out. So, what chance you got?
Of course. Alan, I think Ryan makes a great point in terms of the mentality, because we've seen it through the seasons. And like I says, mate, the same individuals are there, and it's the same same charade that they're going through. And I've always said it, mate, I think we will we'll continue seeing that as long as those individuals are there. It doesn't matter what kind of manager you've got. You can bring in Jose Mourinho. In my opinion, mate, he's never going to be able to coach these guys to be any better than what they have already shown. And they're always going to come up against a brick wall, mate, when they're trying to overtake Celtic and topple Celtic for the title.
Aye, no, I agree to a certain extent. We just need to make sure we've got everything right now, our behalf as well. I think we got the win, but I think we're still aware we need a wee bit of improvement as well. I think we've got down slightly since last year, but that was a lot of fight and a good performance. The last few games have been good performances for the players, so that can only kind of bode well and show you that there are strengths within the team and the squad. So, as I say, that should be a starting point. That should be where we kick on for. We've now got a few weeks to the manager, the relevant staff to look at the squad and look at where's needed to improve, and hopefully we can kind of flex our financial muscle and go out and let's put that kind of gap between us and them again, and make sure that the kind of with the players that we're bringing in, the money we're spending, that we can put the league and the Scottish Cup out of sight for them, that we kick on that much. It should be a kind of turning point. Obviously, the 2 defeats in a row might have been the wee kick up there. You know what that we needed, and to say 4 wins, and especially yesterday, pretty good football as well. So, it's bright ahead. Future's bright, but it's green. We're hoping it's green anyway. So,
well, that was one of why I wore the green top in it, because the future's bright and the future's green. Glasgow's certainly green anyway, that's for sure. But no, it's a great point Alexander Ferguson makes here. But Ryan, what I've said before, mate, I don't think this is, anything new in terms of what we're seeing with Celtic. I think, for me, what I've got to tip my hat to is, see if you had any other manager, and you went and lost to Hearts and you lost to Kilmarnock, it could very, very quickly, the wheels could have come off, Ryan. And very, very quickly, we could have hit a right bad runner for him. Now, I think because we've got Brendan Rodgers, that's why these players have bounced back. And it's no a coincidence, mate, that we're now seeing guys like Bernardo, who we're obviously going to go on and talk about, performing to the level that he's performing at. It's no a coincidence that Greg Taylor's lifted his level over the last few weeks either. I think there'll be things that, the players have probably taken a wee bit of time because it's a new way of playing. It's not the gung-ho style that we were used to seeing under Big Ange. It's a new way of playing. And I think it's taken a bit of time to digest for the players to, right, this is the way, this is the way this is going to go now. But I think the mentality about with the manager, Ryan, I think that's key, mate. I think because, like I said, mate, if it was another manager, I think it did very quickly. Could have went the other way. But because we've got Brendan Rodgers, that's why you've seen such a reaction.
It's experience, mate. The guy, like I says, I'll not go back on what I've said for a long time. The guy's an elite manager, and nobody will tell me different. As I think when one of the first times in the season Baz was on, and even he was saying, and again, he's played football at the highest level. He's still playing at a high level. Even he says elite. He is an elite. People define elite in different things, JP. If it's one trophies, if it's coaching teams, etc. Like Man United, right? See the way Ralph Rangnick coaches and the way he came into Man United and what he says. Ralph Rangnick, in terms of his coaching ability, is elite. What he said about Man United is turning out absolutely spot on. They need to change this, they need to change this. Mourinho said the same, and they've not done it. And look at them now, they're struggling to the hulks. Can they get 2, 3, 4 victories in a row and down south in the league? So the mentality of the manager, mate, the experience of the manager, not just that, you've got, I know we've gave him a bit of jerk this season because he's maybe slowing down and stuff, but Joe Hart came up with 2 or 3 good saves as well. He's a leader, he's experienced. McGregor, experienced. Matt O'Reilly's only a young guy, but he's playing like here, like he's played here for 4 or 5 years in the middle of the park. I know Greg Taylor, I'm not his biggest fan, but he is one of the experienced members of the squad now. How many games he's played, the trophies he's won. Arthur Johnson, he's played in the World Cup, but this team's full of experience. Might be young guys, but they've got experience as well. But I think the manager, for me, Alan, I agree with JP, mate. I think the manager's key in a lot of it, and you can see now that hopefully, again, maybe in January, the manager can get his coaching methods in more, and there's no a big backlog or a forward thinking of games to actually do more things on the training part. And I think, Alan, that's crucial that the manager can maybe implement more his maybe attacking based things and maybe what we've seen.
Aye, especially with the players, it's kind of coming back as well. There is important players that Brendan will be glad that's on the training pitch. I know that there's a couple away at the Asian Cup, etc. But I start to get a full squad as well for the manager to work with. I think that's kind of massive. These are players that could be contributing in the first 11. So there's a lot of good things that can happen in January. Obviously, we'll be missing the football for kind of 3 weeks, whatever it is. But in that time, you could hope that the progression that we've had the last few weeks and how well that the team's been playing recently, you'd hope that's a starting block of how we're going to kick on. And you hope we kind of build on where we've been, because there was times during the start of the season that I have.
You stop heavy breathing, you. This is a family show. You're sitting there with
I can't shift the cold. Sorry, Ange. Aye, I'll be feeling well for a while. Aye, but that's how
he comes on here, so we make him feel better when he's on here.
Aye, I know, it makes me feel brilliant,
I know, baby. Don't you worry about
it. Where was I? So, aye, we'll talk. So, it's a good starting point. Obviously, they 4 victories, so it's only got to kind of bring confidence into the players as well. And hopefully we can kick on and start kind of putting in better performances to go along with victories as well. Because I think there was a few. I think we've all said there's been a lot of the kind of performances in the first half of the season that were kind of subpar for the levels that we usually expect to a Celtic team.
Yeah.
So hopefully these last 4 games that we can start seeing the level that we're used to, and Brendan start to kind of coach his way of playing football, and obviously it comes together with some new players coming in as well. So I'm confident that we're going to kick on for here, and hopefully have quite a comfortable season for the rest of the year.
Well, and just on that, obviously we'll talk about the goals for Saturday. We'll talk about the first goal. So, what were you doing, and how do you remember the first goal? And obviously we were all elated when it goes in, but I may have looked on the delivery rather than the execution of the goal. But to execute the goal was unreal. The way he executed it. That's such a hard ball to take on, especially on a volley like that. But I thought the delivery in the corner was zoomed in by Palmer beautifully.
Aye, no, I was just sitting in the conservatory with our pibs and lemonade saying, oh yes. So, aye. No, I was... Aye.
Oh, the consent.
So, no, it was the corner in.
The rest of this hall.
Big Demi cheese in your case.
I know. You don't need wellies. They're welly daft.
I managed to get across the
I
like cheese.
That just tomato juice in that.
It's a quarter bottle of vodka, no?
There's a quarter bottle for that, son. Terry Hall.
Aye. The cross in for the corner, but if that was us defending that goal, I think you'd be screaming at, was it Seema that he plays the ball right to Bernardo. The clearance, it should be put that back out for a corner, right? But it comes to Bernardo, and he's caught it well. The technique's great. The finish, and 1-0 up. Happy days.
Yeah, definitely, Ryan. I think obviously, I mean, that's a great strike, mate, from a young boy who's just started getting a run of games and getting himself into the team. And like I says to Alan there, to take that on the kind of volley and adjust his body to do that, mate, it's phenomenal.
I think you can't underestimate how good that technique is, mate. That's not something that you're just born with. That's something you've got. That technique's phenomenal. To keep that down in the way it's like what do you call it in football? What would you call it? It's like a daisy cutter. That was what it was like. He was like just right off the grass, boom, into the net, and Butler had no chance. And it was like I say, JP, it was at that point in time, you kind of felt a goal was coming. We were starting to take a motor forward at that point, and eventually, Larry, something's going to be here. We've got to try and get a chance here. And obviously, the goal, mate, it's a fantastic goal, and I think that's maybe hopefully going to turn his Celtic here now, Bernardo. I've always said that people were saying, what is the attack? I don't really know what it was, but I believe he's tidy. He might not do anything flashy, but the ball well, he's tidy. I thought against Lazio, he was one of the better players away from home, and the manager keeps playing him in Europe, and then he wasn't playing there. I'm thinking, right, he must rate him to play him in the European games. Yeah. And I've kind of stopped by him. I've said a few people, listen, he's tidy. He's just see how he goes. It might maybe no worth the £5-6 million that apparently is quoted now. We're seeing it's 1.5, so I don't know what it is, mate, personally. But at that point in time, I was thinking 5 to 6. I don't know about that. But if he continues to play like this every week, well, the majority of the rest of the season, I think he's a must-buy, JP. He's a must-buy. But in 2021, if he plays with Celtic, the more he'll get looked at with Portugal. And again, because his background, his pedigree, he's foreign. If he plays 4 or 5 good months, mate, he'll be an interest in the camp. So Celtic need to act quickly. Similar with Jota. We knew maybe after 6 to 8 months that Jota was going to be very, very good. Go and get him. Don't wait to the end of the season to get this deal done. Maybe wait to the end of February, March to see how he progresses. If he's going to be the exact same as he has the last 2 games, I would go and sign him. But like we had a chat the other day, personally, Freeze on the chat, that he's going to continue this. Right now, you can't go and buy him just on 2 performances. But if he continues to be like this, mate, he's got to be a stick on, mate, because the way he plays, he's turned even yesterday for the goal, and it's effortless, mate. It's just like he's just got something. But we'll see if that's going to be longer term. But again, mate, if it continues the way it is, then I think it's a very good possibility that it could be a Celtic player longer term. But I'm sure it's either an obligation or Celtic have got first dibs to him anyway, so there's obviously going to be a discussion at some sort. I'd like to think that they can get the deal done, mate, if they continue this form.
No, Barry. It doesn't bump his price up, mate. There's a fee already agreed for the player. Celtic done that deal in the summer, so it's a bit similar to Jota, and that the fee's already been agreed. Should Celtic want to go ahead with the permanent signing of Bernardo, so it doesn't matter what he does now between now and the end of the season, mate. Benfica can't put the price up at all because it's already been agreed. Because they were raging when the new manager came in and he found out what Jota was, leaving for, and he was absolutely raging. But again, because it's like a kind of a written agreement now, it's there and it's hard to go against without obviously having a lawsuit against him, mate. So it's pretty much, it doesn't matter if he goes and scores another 25 goals. It wouldn't make any difference. It really wouldn't. Alan, obviously, then we go into the second goal, mate. And there's some neat football for Liam Scales onto Narotsky, and Narotsky plays a nice wee fizz ball, breaking the lines into O'Reilly. O'Reilly uses his bum, turns inside, and then plays a cushion pass into Kyogo. That Kyogo is feints to go in behind Goldson and drops before him. And Goldson's, I actually think he had whiplash at the end of that, to be honest. And yeah, it was. And then obviously the finish, mate. And for me, I'm just going to be straight, mate. That finish is up there with Henrik's in the 6-2 game, mate. That's the level of quality you're dealing with there. It's the finesse and to even finish that on his left. And what makes the goal even better is the fact that Jack Butland, who has been a very good signing for Rangers, make no doubt about that, he's done very well for them. He was at full stretch and couldn't get near it. So for me, I think that's how good the goal is. When you see the Nakamura free kick against Man United and Van der Sar, the massive man that he was at full stretch for that and still couldn't get near it, I think it shows you the level of quality you're dealing with in the finesse finish, mate.
Aye, I'd be kind of comparing them to, I don't know if you guys remember what the Maloney Nakamura finishes against Rangers at Celtic Park. Aye, they kind of, the Nakamura one that went away, went to one corner to another.
Yeah.
They two goals at the other end, weren't they?
Aye, they were up at the away end,
Aye.
But it's a great finish. But as I said to you guys, I was kind of, see, before he hit it, I was screaming at the telly, through to Maeda, because he had time on a point there, Maeda to go through, and you can't say a bad word. He's took it on himself, and it's a fantastic, awesome finish. Right at the top draw. So it is top notch finishing. That's kind of seven goals for Kyogo for the last 6 games against him. So it's quite the record that he's building up. They must kind of hate to see his name in the team sheet because he's a nuisance to him. He must be a pest, that amount of goals that he's scored. I think that's a record. I was reading the other day. That's a record any Celtic players scored in one calendar year against him ever.
Yeah.
So the wee guy's kind of turning it up in important games against in the Glasgow derby. So, but again, it's a quality finish, high quality finish, and can I ask any Merrill? That's great finishing.
No, absolutely, Alan. Ryan, phenomenal finish, mate. As I said, it's just that bit of class that your talisman can bring. And like I says, mate, he never fails to come up with the goods. And no, I was I shouted about it at the time. People saying get Jackie Marcus in the team, and and do this and do that. That's why Jackie Marcus didn't play. That's why Kyogo was picked more than him, because he's got that quality in him, man. He's, what is he, 28 now? He's signed a new long-term contract. He's probably in the best position he's been in his life at the moment. In terms of playing football, he's at a massive club. Probably the biggest club he's ever likely to play for. I don't think Kyogo's one of those players, mate, where he could be here for several years. I don't think Kyogo is going to be one of those players to be in a hurry to leave, mate. And just as Alan says there, mate, I think he puts the absolute fear in them. They don't know what he's going to do. He's so unpredictable with his movement. And like I says, mate, that finesse to beat the goalkeeper the way he did was just absolutely frightening.
Aye, like I says, mate, I was right behind it. I sat right behind that goal, and it was phenomenal, mate. It was unbelievable. I don't think the TV or the highlights show you how good it was, mate. It was the way he done goals, and mate, it doesn't. I've watched the highlights back, and it doesn't show you how quick it was, mate. It does them, and it's boom. It's frightening, mate. And I was like, it took me a few seconds. I was like, wow, but I've just witnessed that like, live. That was phenomenal. Golston and Tavernier were just like that. Oh, what can we do? There's nothing you can do about that. Even the best defender in the world would struggle to defend against that moment in time. And you're right, mate. Kyogo's at a very good time in his career, mate. He's got probably. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's away and that, but if teams did come calling, he could be like, oh, I'll do what I want here. I'm happy at a big club. I might want to go. I've got a big deal here. I'm happy playing in Europe maybe next year, hopefully win the league. I love the manager, I love the team. So he's at a perfect way in his life, mate. He's probably getting the most money he's ever made as well. Probably because he made Japan compared to Celtic probably aren't great. Because I'm sure I can't mean to it was we spoke to, because somebody spoke to privately actually, but they said that Gucci obviously got a bit of a wage rise for what it did in Japan. It wasn't mass amounts, but it was a lot of money compared to what he got in Japan. So if that's the case for him, what's Kyogo getting to Japan? Yeah. So these guys must love it here, mate. I still go back to when it's a photo I seen with HATATE when they first get kind of paraded, and he's just like that. I was like, he's here today, thinks here. He's like, wow. His face was just a picture. He couldn't believe it. And it's phenomenal, mate. I don't think people realise as well. I know we say it to Scott Brown, and I don't know if anybody's watched it, but I think it's called Tippy Tappy and William Hull on the YouTube. That's no sponsor by it. That's me just saying, if you want to go and watch it with Scott Brown, Tim Sherwood, but Bruni was giving it to them. Listen, you don't realise how big Celtic are. Even them across the water, as much as we're trying to talk about them, they are a massive club, and they are a massive place in Scottish football and kind of worldwide football as well. So the day that he'll give him a bit of credit in terms of Celtic, especially on our conversation, mate. But the goal was phenomenal, mate, and it was just different gravy, mate. Golson and Tavernier were made to look like old men, mate. It was brilliant, mate. It was very good to watch, and his quality is brilliant, mate. And but apparently he's one of the best strikers in Scotland. I think this is one thing as well that their media or ex-players need to remember. Why do you say things before big games that you know might haunt you? It's Looney Tunes. Why don't you wait till after the game or wait till it's a normal game when Celtic are playing St Mirren or something? Why do you come out make yourself look an absolute silly person? Everybody knows Kyogo's by miles the best striker in Scotland. It doesn't matter if he's only got 5 goals in 5 games. Laurie Shanton could have 28 goals, but 28 goals could be toe tap-ins. It doesn't mean he's the best striker. Just because you get the most goals doesn't mean overall you're the best striker. Goals determine certain things, yes, but you need to have other aspects to your game. It's Looney Tunes how he's come out and said that. We all know, I don't need to mention his name, we all know who it was. And for me, JP, it's the wee man's, I don't know if the wee man understands everything about English or he's been told about that, but inside of all of that, go and get yourself a Haribo, you know what I mean, and a full packet and enjoy yourself, because you've totally made yourself look like a rich, silly person.
Yeah, and I think Kyogo, like I say, he's at an age now, I don't think Celtic are going to get 25 million for him. He's 28 now. So I don't think we're at that stage where we're going to get that massive money from him. So I think he's happy in terms of being here, and I think he knows himself. He's got an opportunity here to be the Celtic's talisman for a few years to come and really cement himself into the history books the way Nakamura did, the way guys like Gary Hooper did, Larson did. Really, really cement himself with the Celtic support and get himself that recognition. Because, like I says, mate, he's 28 now, so teams aren't going to. There's no way teams are going to pay 20, 25 million quid for him now. Because realistically, he's probably only going to have that one move in him now to his next club. And I think him signing that new contract, Alan, would have been because he's so happy being here. And I think the Celtic fans, lads, are just a wee bit naive that way. That they see him signing a new deal sometimes because, I'll just get the club money. When in reality is, they could very well just love being with a manager. They could very well just love being here. They're playing in the Champions League. They're contesting for trophies, and they've probably seen a lot of players through the years come and go to teams like Bournemouth, Sunderland, Southampton. Teams that are never going to challenge for major trophies. Like Stuart Armstrong going to Southampton, he went for money. Because at the time they were in the Premier League. But that was all he went for. Because he certainly didn't go to win honours. And prior to Joe Ledley coming here, Joe Ledley never won a single trophy. He'd never won a medal. So when he came here, that was an eye-opener for him. And I think that's why Joe has got a big affiliation with the club as well. Because of the platform that Celtic gave him. Celtic allowed Joe to then go on and win medals. And I think Kyogo sees similar there. And that he can be a great. I just don't think he's in a hurry to go anywhere.
No, I think you look along the line, say, like Juranovic last year as well. Everybody thought of how well he was doing Croatian international. They were all going to kind of get mega bucks, but he was at that age of kind of 28 as well, that you're not going to pay that. He went for like between 8 and 10 million. I think if it ever did come to fruition that Kyogo did want to leave, I think you wouldn't be far off that kind of mark because of his age and the time the contracts he's got left. But he seems very settled. He seems happy. Seems happy within his football. Seems happy within the city. Anytime you see any kind of videos, etc. But so he's playing good football at the minute. It's maybe low scoring as many goals at the start of the season as he did possibly last year, but hopefully kind of last couple of games is a turning point again that we can see kind of prime Kyogo as we've seen him time and time again, and especially with that finish we've seen. But I don't think he's one of the ones that we've got to worry about that's going to move on.
All right. It's all right. We're well looked after, Thomas. Don't worry, mate.
First is ever we patting back. We're all dying and we'll stop. We don't stop. We don't stop.
No, we never stop. No, we plough through, don't we?
A big blue Peter badge and we'll be all right.
Can he shift it, man? I don't know what it is, honestly. I think everybody's had something like it, and all. It's just kind of throat and nose. But I can't see Kyogo going anywhere. As I say, I think he's settled. I think if we're looking at any other players, I think it's the kind of slightly younger players with maybe a kind of potential and a ceiling, like your kind of Matt O'Reilly or Real HATATE. I think they're the kind of players we'd be worried about that could possibly leave maybe in the summer, etc. But I would hope all these good players kind of stay with us, because at the end of the day, it's all fine and well having a nice bank balance, but we don't see that in the park. We want to see the best players we can on the park, but we need to be realistic as well at times that when this kind of daft money comes in, like for Jota, then it's a no-brainer for the club as a business. So, but I think I don't think Kyogo comes under that category. I think he'll be one that will probably stay and kind of see out his contract, I think.
Yeah. Would you agree with that, Ryan?
I think in terms of the assets, mate, we've got like I say, see if we had to sell, if it's through losing the league or if it's through something happening, investigations in terms of it. If anything happened behind the scenes with SFA and Celtic didn't pay this or pay that and you had to sell money or whatever, then I can understand why you maybe need to sell players. If there was reasons why you had to sell, be that financial issues or etc. Just saying it was like liquidations in the past and you had to go and sell people, then fair enough. I get that. But the assets that you've got, mate, it's good to have, because if you do need to sell and maybe say you don't qualify for Europe, etc., you can go and do that and it kind of gets your money back to maybe keep your balance for that season. For me, the only asset right now I would say that could potentially go, and for me, it's people might say, Ryan, why are you saying this? And do you know information? No, I don't. It's just my gut instinct. If we get a big offer for Matt O'Reilly in the summer, I think he's off. If you're talking Jota money, £30 million, I personally think Celtic would need to have a serious conversation, the board and the manager, what do you do here? Because Celtic cannot get that money back. Just imagine you win the league this year, you're guaranteed at least £60 million. That's without selling season books, training gears, packages, and then say you sold him for that money. Or you're light years away, man. You're in total oblivion to Scottish football.
No,
so
totally, aye.
Even if you don't sell him or anybody, you're still oblivion. You're in absolute free fall, because somebody will need to take care of somebody in Scotland for them to get the money we're going to have. No, and that's the truth. Like, people can.
The thing is, Ryan, we've got 72 million or 74 million in my bank, mate. And the reason we've got that is because of the player trading model we work for. There's no other team in Scotland got that amount of money. And that's phenomenal, mate. A lot of Celtic fans need to realise that as well. There's no other club in Scotland working like that.
I do think you probably, or if it was going to be one that potentially could be O'Reilly. I think maybe take away that, I think it would need to be a massive. I think whoever leaves Celtic for now on in, mate, there's going to be good offers. Especially if you're a first team 11 and guys that are coming off the bench and making an impact, even guys like Turnbull. I know he's out of contract soon, but if he did get a new deal in January and then he stays for another 2 or 3 years, you need to pay at least £5 million, £4 million to get him. So even your fringe players who are not playing week in, week out are still going to be worth at least £3 or £4 million to leave Celtic, because you're not want to leave here. Some of them are getting good money. So I guarantee you, even guys like Quan, right? He's only been here, but say in January a club came in for maybe £1 million or something. Look, and Celtic go, oh, do you know what? Maybe he could be getting maybe 3 or 4 in the week here. He's like, oh, I can't go anywhere. That's just good money for me. I've actually contract. So, but in terms of what you're saying there, mate, I think Celtic in a good position off the field, on the park, and off the park in terms of the back balance and the assets. But get back to what Ali says earlier on the podcast, and it's no change what we do need. We still need maybe 4. I think maybe 4 was maybe us wanting to just make sure we had enough quality. I think you'd probably see if you get 2 quality additions and you've got HATATE and ABADA fully fit, then Nedovsky fully fit, and you keep Lavia Bielka, then I think you could potentially be okay, mate, at the end of the season. But you would like to have 2 or 3 bits of quality, mate, because I think Barrett says hopefully we don't do it at the end of the window. Again, Barry, I'm just reading between the lines of myself, mate. The amount of times he's mentioned quality and signings and quality, I think if it's left to the window, it won't be doing to the manager. It'll be doing to the board or doing to agents talking, etc. I don't think it'll be doing to the manager. I think the manager's already talking to thank people in, mate. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, mate, in terms of after January. I think we'll just kick on now, get 2 or 3 bits of quality, and if we can, sell somebody or let some guys go away on loan, take a game time and guys are not playing. Can I get the squad a bit smaller, bit more compact, and then we just go for there and kind of push on, because you're not going to sign the quality we've got. Yes, don't get me wrong, the boys Silver have signed. He is a good player, he is, but he's not really done well his last 2 clubs, one on loan and one at Wolves. They're paying good money for him, wages. They're doing it to try and make sure they win the league. And I think that's really all they can do, mates. They're going to sign big players and big loans, but they're not going to sign transfer fees or big money. So it's what we do. We've got the financial power to go and do it, and I like to think we'll go and do it.
Yeah, I think we will. But obviously, we're not getting away, Alan, too lately. We're not getting on to recruitment and stuff. Still got another game to go because we turned up at Paisley last night and we had another comprehensive victory, mate. And another very good performance at a very tough venue that we normally find it out there. What was your take on last night, mate?
There must be kind of conspiracies and things going on. That's too many sent off against us in the last 2 games. That's nuts, I know. How do we sleep at night?
Crazy.
But I know it was a comfortable victory. I think if great football played, I think if we're kind of nitpicking at the game, that's probably one of the games that you're thinking, man gets sent off, you're thinking we could maybe make that kind of 5 or 6. Gives a bit more confidence than what we've been getting at present. So, but they played really well. I think obviously the standout was kind of in the middle of the park, and especially kind of Bernardo. I thought he was kind of exceptional. The pass for the third goal for Taylor was great. I think Taylor again, I think he's. I know we're not all his biggest fan. No, not way. But he's been kind of great for the last few games as well. He's really stepped up his game. So Bernardo was exceptional. Hopefully he kind of carries on in that vein of form as well. So because we've not seen that him as of yet, but the last few games he's looked as if he's kind of took his game up a notch and took it to a new level. But overall it was a good performance. We came out the traps flying and put the game to bed relatively easily, relatively quickly. So
Yeah.
Happy days.
No, I totally agree with you. Ryan, it seems to be every time on here, mate, you seem to have a go at Greg Taylor. And I don't know if he listens, but he obviously just decides, right, okay, I'm fed enough of Ryan, I'm going to go and show him something here. And he pops up last night with some finish, man, and a finish at a striker would have been chuffed with. But all in all, mate, what a ball it is with Bernardo, the wee dink pass to find him. And just again shows, what we're capable of when we're at a pump.
It was a bit like what you like to call Ange ball. We started the game very quick. It was what we're kind of used to the last 2 years. It's probably what the manager's been wanting all season for us to be like. And we started the game for the first 10-15 minutes, mate. The game just about done. Celtic were very good. It was slicker. It was quicker. Everything was just better. I'm not saying it was wow for vintage Celtic. That's us back to Ange ball, or that's us back to the. But it was much better. It was much better. Bernardo was caviar, man. He was absolutely his turns, his passes, his way to pass. And Greg Taylor, listen, I'm not his biggest fan. I'll always praise when praise is there, mate. He done very well. He was one of his better games in a long time. Good goal as well. But again, you praise him, but it's not going to take away the fact that we still need a left back, especially this summer. I think we'll get away with it in January. I think Greg's absolutely fine to play at the end of the season. I think he's fine. He's a set choice, JP. He's absolutely fine. I've no qualms about him being in the team. But as your left back going forward, we do need somebody better. I think we can all agree on that. Maybe the time from Celtic full left back just about nearly finished in terms of the European side. I could be wrong. It's just my opinion, but I know it was really good, mate. It was actually a lot better against them as well, to be fair, and a lot of the game as well. So you've got to give credit to you, mate. And I'm actually want to give a big kind of well done to Big Rocky as well. I still say he was signed to be Vickers' partner. He was Starfelt's replacement, in my opinion. For what I've seen him, and again, it's only highlights and the stats and Y-Scout and stuff like that, but he just looks strong. He's no incredibly quick, but he's no ridiculously slow. He looks a very good centre back. I did say I know it was only 2 games or 3 games he played, but he looked decent. He plays the ball forward. It's cracked. I know against them across the water, the first 2 or 3 passes were all thinking, "Oh, big man, you're not looking good here." He was a wee bit nervy, but the second half he stood up and he was brilliant, mate. So I like to think he would get a game through if there's January, but if Vickers is fit. Again, JP's another one as well. I know he's our best player defensively. See in the summer, if Vickers keeps pulling up, you've got to think here, do you sell him? I know people I might be mad here, but you can't keep having a guy that's on a lot of money and one of your best players only maybe playing 5 months for a year. You've got to think about that as well. I know that might sound Looney Tunes, but I'm just thinking you don't have him available all the time. You need to have your best players available all the time, and if they're injured all the time, it's no good. So hopefully, if the big man can get himself sorted, get himself totally back to fitness, and we can have him back to team because he's an absolute colossal. He's the best since Van Dijk, 100%, and he's massive to teammate. But I thought Big Rocket deserves a bit of praise, mate.
Yeah, he does. I know guys are chatting now in terms of the summer recruitment and the last couple of weeks. You've seen the emergence of Rocky coming back into the team for the weekend, and then last night again, you're looking at the emergency of Bernardo. All of a sudden, the summer window is starting to maybe look not that bad after all, because obviously we're getting performance levels from these guys now, and we weren't getting that before. I've always said on here that it's no Nerowski's footballing ability that's been the problem. I always thought it was down to injuries, and obviously that's been made true. But yeah, I think you're spot on, Ryan. And you obviously the last wee bit to you, Alan. Obviously now we've got a few weeks break, mate, and I've seen some comments on here tonight, mate, in terms of people kind of looking, how Celtic will do their business and stuff, mate. But for me, I just think Celtic don't need to hurry. We're not in a position where I think we need to hurry. I think it needs to be the right one now. And, we don't just bring players in to appease the fans to stockpile the squad, because we've had enough of that over the last few years. So, for me, I think we're in a position, mate, where we can take our time and we can and get the right deal done.
You'd like to take your time, but at the end of the day, this should be kind of an ongoing process. This should have started for the 1st of September when the transfer window finished. So we should have a kind of list of players. Whoever's in the recruitment team, we should have a list of players who we're going to go for first, second, third. So that should be it should be well down the line if the guys are doing their job correctly and they're looking at the players that the managers looking for and wanting. So I don't like to see the kind of last minute deals, see the last days, because that kind of screams sometimes a panic. So I'd prefer, I know there's no hurry, but I'd still prefer to see them in the door relatively early. Shows that the recruitment team and the guys above are doing the job correctly. And it gives Brendan a bit of time with them before we start playing games again. So we can kind of bring them into the squad, get them up to speed, and they know exactly what their job is and what's expected of them. So I'd hope to see a bit of activity the next kind of week or two, and I think you'll see a lot of kind of activity with players going out, whether that be loan or permanently as well, because as you say, we've got a lot of players that are only contributing, whether that be first 11 or the squad as well. So I have got a lot of players that I think they find kind of pastures now and be moved on because they're not showing any contribution for the team or the squad whatsoever.
Yeah. Listen, we can only hope that the manager gets his quality that he desires in. But like I say, I don't think there's any. That's me personally. I don't think there's any need for panic or any need to, any need to rush into anything. As I've said, we've seen it before. We've stockpiled the squad. We've brought signings in just to appease the fans. We've done it in the summer there. We've even brought guys like Kwon in, and for whatever reason, Kwon's not able to play football for us, which is unfortunate. But I'm sure there's valid reasons there, as there has been for the way things have worked out up to now, halfway in the season, because I don't think any one of us seen the emergency Bernardo the way we have. Nobody's seen the emergence of Liam Scales, and nobody probably seen HATATE play before January. So it's yeah, as I say, we're in a strong position just now. We are obviously going to be a bit depleted when we come back. Some of our boys are away to the Asia Cup. Lads, I don't know about yours, but I'm just really glad that our talisman's going to be here, and he's not going to Japan. Obviously, Hatate's been selected, which I find slightly baffling. Overall, lads, I think we're in a very good position. I'm really happy that we're in front and we've got an 8-point lead, because, like we spoke about, boys, I think it puts pressure on as well. It's all right saying you've got 2 games in hand. You've got to go and win those 2 games in hand. And we've all know football's a funny old game. And, another meltdown's happened as well in terms of they've conceded their first penalty in 75 games. So now we know the officials aren't that scared to give penalties against them. Here's hoping this continues. And you never know what can happen in any of the 2 games that they've got in hand. Again, you've got to win the games. So I'm pretty sure every team will try and strengthen in the January window. But it's just if and but, in terms of quality they get in. Another good chat with you tonight, boys. Just before we finish up, just for anyone that's tuned in for the first time tonight, this podcast is sponsored by AB Entertainment. It's a DJ and entertainment business, folks. And the AB stands for a Mr. Alec Beveridge. And Alec's a very great guy. He owns a company. And if anybody wants to, if you've got any parties coming up, functions at all, you want to get in contact with them, that's the best number to do it on, 07845 746 092. You can also hit Alec up on WhatsApp through that number. And and he will book you in, give you a telephone call, and see what you're looking for. Overall, guys, that's us back as well to a bit of normality. So the podcast will be back on Friday. So we'll do Friday 8:30 again. We'll come on and we'll maybe chat about positions in the team where we can look to strengthen. What type of player are we looking for? And hopefully, who knows, we might even have a signing announced. Celtic might surprise us all and get a signing in. We might even have departures. Still a long time between now and Friday. So, all in all, guys, Happy New Year to you all. Thanks everybody for tuning in again. And a massive farewell from me.
Farewell.
I'll see you all later. Thanks, guys.